What's up, everybody? It's Standard Issues. We're back to talk about a couple of appointees for Trump's cabinet, particularly Thomas Homan. There's been a few others, and keep going up to date with every time he makes a new one. Today is Veterans Day, so if you celebrate that or if you take time every year for that, I don't want to say Happy Veterans Day, but it's something to point out and something to think about with different charities and different donations. I have my Andrew Wilkow Operation Close Air Support shirt on. All gave some are giving back. Veterans Day, it's the Wilkow majority. He does a great job with that. He has a whole bunch of different charities that you can donate to, and it doesn't go through any BS ancillary stuff. All the money goes straight to charities. It's not going to be anything for events that they have to pay off or venues or anything like that. It's just straight through his radio program and his website, and he did a great job today on that. It's always nice to hear all the charities, members come in and represent and get to talk to Andrew and talk to the people and see what it's all about. But yeah, as far as going back to the appointments, or the appointees, I should say, we're going to start. Let's get to the top here. We talked about Susie Wiles. She's the White House Chief of Staff. She's going to be. She was the campaign co-chair. We know this. She was very good. She works very well with Trump. We already talked about her. She's going to be the closest advisor and counsel, and she's already been, so she just keep doing it. It's great. And of course, first woman ever to be in that position. Of course, everybody's going to say Trump's a woman hater anyway, but moving on, Stephen Miller. He's been a long-time advisor to Trump. He's going to be the deputy chief of policy in the new administration. He's one of his longest-serving aides. He was a senior advisor in the Trump's first term, and this is a funny part here I wanted to highlight. He was a senior advisor in Trump's first term and has been a central figure in many of his policy decisions, particularly on immigration, including Trump's move to separate thousands of immigrant families as a deterrence program in 2018. So a lot of these early appointees are for the border, or at least immigration. This is probably his number one, priority. He wants to get on that immediately, and it's going to be a lofty job for sure. But I just want to point out that this is going to be like a, something that they hit on a lot. The moving to separate thousands of immigrant families. They're just obsessed with this. This is something that they're going to keep bringing up, separate, and trying to make Trump look bad and making this look like a horrible, terrible thing that they're doing to families and to immigrants. And it's like this. Unfortunately, the Democrats created this problem against the wishes of everyone, and it's not like this kind of came out of nowhere. People were begging for them to stop and for them to just put it to an end and stop letting people in illegally, and they just kept doing it. And unfortunately, we don't want innocent families to suffer because of this, but unfortunately it has to happen. These people have to be deported. This is a giant problem for the country, and honestly, the Democrats are to blame. They're the ones who really should take the blame for this, or are going to take the blame for this, whether they like it or not, or whether they, spin it or not, because in the media they will be harping on the separating of the families. Luckily, Thomas Homan is a tough MF, and he does not take crap, as we will see in a second here. And getting along to the end of the appointees here so far, he also, this guy, Stephen Miller, he also crafted a bunch of Trump's hardline speeches, so that's pretty interesting. And then we got Thomas Homan, former Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director, ICE. He was a former police officer. He's going to be the border czar. So Trump's using that term, which Obama used, other presidents used, but he's using it for this guy, and this is a real person worthy of the moniker border czar. He is a tough hombre, and he's a staunch Trump supporter, sure, because he cares about the border. That's his number one priority. He cares about like law enforcement, and he has said many times on many occasions that the border was never safer than under Trump. It was the safest it's ever been, and then Biden came in and it was the worst it's ever been, and he attests to it. He's there, he knows he's on the ground, he knows what's up. And yeah, he's not happy about that, because you can tell with the way that he talks and how he is, he cares deeply about this. um and he's not, he seems like a cold hard ass, but and he is a hard ass, but at the same time, it's not like he doesn't care about the families and stuff. He cares about that, but it's just when you have a job to do, you have to do it. And unfortunately, sometimes when we didn't ask for this to happen, but the Democrats made it happen, and here we are. So yeah, so he'll be in charge of the mass deportations that have been promised by Trump throughout the 2024 campaign. They say it has to be done however it has to be done, obviously as civil as possible, or as, well done as you can. But uh, you know this is the big thing that the Democrats are harping on and the media's been pining on. It's just, what are they going to do? How are they going to do it? How are they going to do it? Well, if they don't do it at all, the problem's just going to keep happening. So are they suggesting that we don't try to fix it at all, or what's the issue here? It's like when you're talking about a regular crime, it's like we have a gang in the overtaking a city, and it's like, oh, they're starting to really overtake and they're getting dangerous. I guess we should just never try to get them at all anymore. Like, forget it. Just let them be and let them grow. No, you try to do your best to get them all, put to justice and done away with, and cleaning up the city and cleaning up the streets. You work your way out there little by little, and hopefully this can happen in a swift way, but swiftly, there's going to have to be no holds barred to a certain extent. So anyway, we also got Representative Mike Waltz. He's from Florida. He's going to be his national security advisor, sources are saying. And then Lee Zeldin, Representative Lee Zeldin, he's awesome. He almost won New York in 2022, I believe. We were so close. I live in New York, and I voted for him. He's a veteran. He's a good guy. He's Jewish. And unfortunately, they elected Hochul, Kathy Hochul, who's just awful. She's terrible. And but she just barely eked by him and won. But, New York is liberal. They don't know what's going on. They don't know Lee Zeldin. They assume Kathy Hochul's, she was there. She was already under, Cuomo. So, and she was disappointed. Like, Cuomo had to step down, and then she just comes in. But then she was voted in 2022, I believe. And she never really should. She's awful, and she should never have won. She should never have been up for election, but here we are because they took down Cuomo. So, but Zeldin should have won over her, but he didn't. But he helped turn the state red, because it was very red when he almost won, and I think it was a lot to do with him. But he's been selected to serve as EPA administrator, and that's the first New Yorker. Also, he's been speaking issues about the military, national security, anti-Semitism, U.S.-Israel relations, and immigration and crime. He's just on the line. He's really good, and obviously he's Jewish, so he talks about these things. And then the second New Yorker, who is fantastic, Elise Stefanik, she's been selected to be the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, and she is a tough cookie. She is great, and I think she'll do a great job as well. So, now, to get into the main one, Thomas Homan. We're just going to show a couple clips of him. Here's Trump's statement on that. I am pleased to announce that the former ICE director and stalwart on border control, Tom Homan, will be joining the Trump administration in charge of our nation's borders. The borders are, in parentheses, including but not limited to the southern border, the northern border, all maritime, and aviation security. I've known Tom for a long time. That's a lot. I've known Tom for a long time, and there is nobody better at policing and controlling our borders. Likewise, Tom Homan will be in charge of all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. Congratulations to Tom. I have no doubt he will do a fantastic and long-awaited for job. So, I'm just going to show a couple clips of Thomas Homan, just to get an idea of him. There's a viral clip from 2019. I think a lot of people have seen it at this point. Him going at AOC because here's the appeal to emotion. AOC takes him to Congress to, to put him on call on, oh, you're what are you doing? You're doing all these horrible things. You're separating families. Here's the separating families thing. She just won't stop with it. Here's a clip from Viva Fry. He's great, by the way. I like Tom Homan. He says this is from this is from this year, actually today. This is from today. Watch this clip. It's from 2019, but more relevant as it today than it has ever been. AOC airhead extraordinaire thinking she has a gotcha on Homan, who proceeds to humiliate her in real time. And then there's more, but that says it all right there. It's exactly true. Here we go.
Mr. Homan, your name is on this. Is this correct?
Yes, I signed that memo.
So you are the author of the family separation policy?
I am not the author of this memo.
You're not the author, but you signed the memo?
Yes, a zero tolerance memo.
So you provided the official recommendation to Secretary Nielsen on for the United States to pursue family separation?
I gave Secretary Nielsen numerous recommendations on how to secure the border and save lives.
But it says here that you gave her numerous options, but the recommendation was option 3, family separation.
What I'm saying, this is not the only paper where we've given the Secretary numerous options to secure the border and save lives.
And so the recommendation, of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
parents. If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay.
Get wrecked. She was just floundering the entire time, and you could see she was just harping on the separating the families from the children from the family, blah, 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 over and over. Enough. Zero tolerance. I love it. It's unfortunately sometimes it's necessary to clean things up. This is what's necessary to clean things up. She's just trying to make him look bad, and he does not give a damn. And he's strong, and he knows his stuff. And one of the best parts and things to come from that clip was, which I remember I saw when it happened, a lot of people did, was him pointing out just this part right here at the end where she says legal asylees asylees is not illegal, seeking asylum is not illegal. Well, they have already crossed the border illegally. That is illegal. They're already a criminal. So what else? They already have 100% crime rate. Like, they've already broken the law 100%. So what else have they done? I mean, some of these people are great people, of course, but a lot of them commit more crime after they've gone here, but that's more on top of what they already did. Okay, this is not legal. This is not okay. In her world, maybe it's okay, but he's, he knows what's up, and he's like, no. Let me see.
The father for domestic violence, the child.
Separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen.
Did you recommend to respect legal asylees are not charged with any crime?
Listen to the emotional timbre. Any crime. Please. She thought she was doing something here, and she got wrecked. But listen to what he says.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
Perfect. And with the point he makes about separating, anybody that commits a crime, you're separating that man or woman from their kids. It's what happens. Enough with the appeal to emotion. Do you want to have safe cities, safe societies? Enough. Stop with this. I don't understand what this whiny, sympathetic, empathetic, made up stuff is. Personally, I totally am empathetic to these people in a way, to a point. but they're not American, okay? Sorry. And they're also cutting ahead of thousands of other people who have been waiting patiently and doing it the right way, like Thomas Homan said. So here's that clip again. Here's a recent clip from him on 60 Minutes just from the other week, or like last week. And it's a short clip, but it's a similar thing. They're harping again on the same thing, like I said. Let's check it out.
We have seen one estimate that says it would cost $88 billion to deport 1 million people a year.
I don't know if that's accurate or not.
Is that what American taxpayers should expect?
What price do you put on national security? Is that worth it?
Is there a way to carry out mass deportation without separating families?
Of course there is. Families can be deported together.
Oh my gosh, he is the man. Look at him taking these liberal, emotional, dramatic women. What is she talking about? First off, she's attacking him about, making fear, instilling fear in the American people. Oh, this is going to cost taxpayer money. How much money are they costing us right now? Already. And they're filling up our hotels, taking veterans out on the street, taking them out of those hotels. They can deny that all they want. I live in New York, okay? I know what's going on here. And it's happening everywhere. Every state is a border state. Doesn't matter if you're in the middle of the country, on the edge of the country. Doesn't matter, okay? And then she just jumps to it's like, I don't know if she felt like she was losing, but she jumps to the separating the families thing again. These people, they will not stop. Be ready for this in the next coming weeks and years. They're just going to keep BSing on that and harping on it, and it's so refreshing to have this kind of strength, this kind of alpha energy in these positions, because they're gonna come for this guy. They're gonna come for this guy way more than they already did, because now he's kind of the appointed guy, and he's the one target guy. But you know what? I think he can handle it. I think he's great, and he has a lot of support from a lot of other people. He's just not going to hear it a lot because the squeaky wheel gets the grease or whatever. And yeah, we need that. Excellent. And then here's another clip of him from MAGA Jew, real MAGA Jew, talking to Pramila Jayapal, and another I guess moment where he got called in to talk about this, and she is just so nasty and rude to him, so nasty, and he just does not care. He doesn't care. And this is a great clip.
You have failed to secure the border. You have failed to work with this president to close the 3 loopholes we've asked for 2 years to close. So if you want to know why this issue exists, you need to look in the mirror. You have failed American people for not securing the border and closing loopholes.
Mr. Homan, please respect the chair and the authority of the chair. The time of the gentleman has expired.
I've asked you politely to let me go beyond my time, and you let other people go beyond their time, but not to Tom Homan. He don't get to go beyond his time.
Mr. Homan, we have approved an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats. Please respect the chair's authority.
I respect the chair's authority, but the chair...
Mr. Homan!
You work for me. I'm a taxpayer. You work for me. You have failed.
Boom. Bro. She is trying so hard to dominate him, and she's overreacting. You can see her just staring daggers. Look at her eyes.
Look at
her eyes here. Where is it?
Has failed.
Look at her just staring daggers, like she's gonna attack, like she wants to, she just hates him, and he has the right to talk. I've sit in on many of these hearings. I watch how they are. They're nasty. Jamie Raskin, Adam Schiff, all of these people, and then the squad people like her, they're nasty. And AOC loves to appeal to emotion. She likes to get a little nasty too, but this is nasty. And he just wants to talk a little extra. They all usually let them talk a little extra. She won't let him, and he's just like, I'm a taxpayer. You don't talk to me like that, okay? And yeah, I mean, absolutely out of control the way she's acting. Completely unacceptable. Yelling like this at the end here.
Fair. I'm a work for me. I'm a taxpayer, but
right
Mr. Homan.
You're yelling. Enough. But he doesn't take any crap. He doesn't care. I love it. We need that. And here's one more clip I'm going to show, and then get out of here. But
hey, look, they gave me 5 minutes to say a few things, so if I offend anybody tonight, I don't give a shit. How many pounds of fentanyl didn't make it in this country to kill Americans? How many known suspected terrorists didn't make it in the country? How many billions of dollars did the cartels make? President Trump is one badass president. He secured the border at a level we've never seen before. And I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that's been released into the United States under this administration. Don't get too comfortable. We're going to need some help. Do I have any volunteers that want to come back and help run the biggest deportation operation in the history of this nation? In January of 25, the greatest president of my lifetime is walking back in the White House. He tells me, we got, I say 120 days. He says, no, you got 60 to lock the border down. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I told the president. He comes back, I come back, we fix this shit.
No F's given. Love it. Love it. I want to join. I want to run through a wall for this guy, the way he is. I love it. And, you people always want to think about the poor, poverty, impoverished, seeking asylum type immigrant when they see this and they think of, like, who he's talking about. But he is talking about the criminals. They're all criminals in a way, like I said before, but I mean the real, like, they're committing crime and they don't care about our laws. They don't care, about anything. We need somebody tough about, to stand up to that. And he's the guy. I love it. Great appointment, or appointee. And yeah, that's about it. I just want to show a little bit about Thomas Homan. He's a man. He's going to get it done. Great job. We'll see what else we got there. We got, you also got RFK Jr. and it seems like Elon maybe, and Tulsi. Who knows what in the next couple months what we're gonna get with that as we hear more. Keep updating, and yeah, I'm hyped. I love it. It seems like this year, this term. I mean, he's learned a lot from the first term. He's putting the right people in. It seems like so far. Of course, there's going to be a few mistakes here and there along the way. We'll see. But so far, so good. Love it. And that'll be the end of the video. Just going to say, just hyped. Yeah, that's it. I'm just hyped. And, of course, just because you don't take an interest in the government doesn't mean the government won't take an interest in you. Peace.